Monday morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. Um, Phew, it's Monday already. It's been quite the start of the day for me. um, just typical Monday. It's a warm Monday, 52 degrees according to my car. I'm hoping there's no trees or anything down along the way. There's some heavy winds and such in my area, heavy rains. So overnight, so there's a possibility that there will be some tree limbs down on the way. Good morning, Lee Put in Phoenix. I don't know if you're still there. I see you logged in and tried to catch me before the show started, and then realized that it was a little bit later. That happens. Lee Foot, you're the one that gave me the idea for this video. I'm trying to remember the details now because, well, I slept on it and my mind is not quite awake yet. So we'll see how this progresses. I cannot stop and get coffee this morning. No coffee, no food for me. I have to get blood work done. I didn't realize how quick my appointment was coming up for my doctors, and I had to do some scrambling over the weekend to get a hold of my co-worker and see if they can come in early for me, and that way I could leave early and get some blood work done. But have you ever been good? I was just going to welcome you back in there, Leefoot. Have you ever been in a location where you notice somebody close by, or just somebody standing out to you that just they seem human but not quite? Something just doesn't seem quite right by them. You know, you just get this weird vibe like something's not kosher. And you just kind of want to get away from that. And you want to kind of just, you don't know why, but you just need to get away from that person. Well, this person, I believe there's only one. Now that I think about it, I didn't look up to see if there was multiple. But at least one. This person that we're talking about, the smiling man, he would give you that feeling. He would give you that sense of when you see him, he is off, that he's not quite human, though he's pretending to be. And this is a relatively new urban legend. See, he's kind of a strange situation because he kind of is debated as if he's just an urban legend, if he's a cryptid, if he's part of the Men in Black, because he's often associated with them, I guess. Now, see, there's little things rattling in my car. It's gonna make me. These little talks that I do in the morning, guys, I'm usually not too jumpy about everyday things, but every once in a while, something it's kind of these little talks in work when they're talking about the paranormal. I'll hear things in my car. It's like, am I alone? One of these guys, you're gonna hear me. One of these days, you guys are gonna hear me scream like a little girl. But this guy, they they say that he could be. A lot of people say that he could fall under the cryptid category, which is kind of weird to think that somebody that's looks like a human could fall under that category. But he, but anyways, enough about that. So this is, like I said, a relatively new phenomenon. Basically started on Reddit threads and the internet. There was another site they cited, maybe 4chan. And so this is where people started saying that they seen him. Because he's not to be confused with the smiling man back, or the grinning man back in from the 70s and such. I kind of looked into that briefly, and even though there's the smile is kind of similar, the rest of it is not. But so his appearance is that of a man that when you see him, that seems to be very unnatural, almost manic looking, and it almost looks painful at how far it stretches and how long he wears it on his face. It's something that a regular human would have a hard time keeping on their face for more than here. Think of Jack Nicholson's Joker as prosthetics. He had to, as an actor, wear prosthetics to get that look. This is a natural for this being. And he is very easily found in the suburbs. Now, like I said, guys, I'm trying to work my mind a little bit, remember everything I read. Sorry, little yawn. So he, when you see him, you don't. I haven't heard of him causing any deaths, but when you see him, he's kind of, he causes extreme anxiety, the feeling of needing to flee, needing to get out of the area. And if you guys know anything about this that I'm definitely missing, which I'm sure I am, feel free to comment. But yeah, I guess it's kind of weird because he doesn't like attack you, from my understandings. But just the looking at him and will cause extreme anxiety, the want to flee, to get out of there, and people have reported if they couldn't get away before long, nausea starts creeping in and get sick to their stomachs, and things like that. Ooh, that was a big tree down over there. looks like some trees were down, but people, the state or whoever came along and moved them. Thank goodness. But so as far as cryptids go, it's pretty cool in the sense that, you know, how to, I'm trying to form and find the right words for it. Because yeah, I wouldn't want to see this guy, if you could call it a guy, because he's not human. You know, especially if it causes the dread and the anxiety and such. But at the same time, my understanding is nobody's been killed by him. So it's not the worst one to come across. You know what I mean? It could have been way worse. Now, I don't know if you guys think it's true or not, but very interesting, and I highly recommend that you look it up, because I definitely didn't do the justice it deserved. One of these days, I'll just go revisit these and revisit the ones that I told, sit down in front of the camera, and just tell the tales of these things as if, you know, where I could read the facts and such, as opposed to driving down the road and trying to remember. But yeah, I mean, every time I think of the Smiling Man, I think of Jack Nicholson's Joker from the film Batman in the mid-'80s. And like I said, he had to wear a prosthetic. Now, there was a Leefoot says he's heard that some people have woken up to him standing above them and smiling. That would be creepy AF. Some dude. But see, that's where he'd catch a couple of hot lead if he did that to my place. Then again, if that's another thing. I was going to say, being cryptid or paranormal, he might move pretty quick. But that's another thing that they talked about, was how not only does he have that smile, but his movements are just, when he moves, it's just not right. It's very unnatural the way he walks and moves. And when he said that, I thought of kind of like the movements of the ring, not bent over backwards and walking on the hands and feet, but as far as coming out of the TV and taking the awkwards, the weird looking angle steps, the jerky movements and such, just the whole presence, like everything seems humanoid, but just not very cohesive. Like somebody tried to make you human and got close, but is off. How would they say that? The Wish version of the human, you know, the Timu version of a human being. Yeah, you're 100% right there, Lee. But Yeah, like somebody, some alien trying to make a human, and we got the Timu version. um, that's for sure. But Smiling Man is something worthwhile to dig into. There is a short horror film on YouTube for it. So I think the video is about 9 minutes long. It's something worthwhile to dig into. Oh, today's 31st, but I'm sure they haven't done none of the road work or started any of the road work yet up here. So I can't imagine there will be delays this early in the morning. Now watch, I pull up to this work site they're talking about. There'll be 50,000 vehicles out here slowing me down. Yeah. But that's okay because I'm not stopping to get any coffee. No coffee for this spud. I gotta have water. They say that you can drink black coffee, but I'm always worried that um, I drink the coffee and find out that I'm getting tested. The one test that I'm doing is not. You're not allowed to drink that. So then I fasted for nothing. That's just kind of luck I had. That's like I was putting on my shorts this morning. Putting on my shorts, started putting my belt on, and I don't even know how I did it, but somehow I had a button and I slid my thumb through the waistband just right and popped the button off my darn shorts. So, yeah, that's what I figured. So on the way home, they'll be out there. But generally, and that'll be up in this area coming up here. Generally, though, the first couple of days they're doing it, it's just kind of the guys walking around in the hard hats and clipboards planning out. So they'll probably from this point, ripping up this road from here to about, yeah, to about here. But excuse me. But yeah, there's there's a short horror film you can find on YouTube called Smiling Man. Um, Worth a watch. It's only 10 minutes long. Well, it's just under 10 minutes long. I need to get all the stuff out of my car that rolls around, rattles around. Because I tell you, there's times where I'll be talking on these videos and just little things that'll move to make a little noise. And if I'm in the city here, it's not so bad. But when I'm driving down 62 there, where it's surrounded by woods and dark and such, and you start hearing that noise every few seconds, it's like, okay, did talking about Slender Man bring him to me? Talking about La Llorona or you know anything like that? Did I summon these things to me? Be careful what you talk about because pretty much speak of the devil, and here he is. I know one morning I was driving to work, and this only happened the one time that I can think of. The passenger side airbag always says off when nobody's sitting over there, of course, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But I'm driving down the road telling these stories. Maybe it was just before I started telling stories. Yeah, it was before, because I would have mentioned it on camera, I'm sure. And all of a sudden it went from off to on and dinging at me because it felt enough pressure on that seat to set off the sensor on it. So the passenger side airbag made it seem like somebody was sitting over there. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit, because it didn't happen in the city. Of course, it happened along the way on the dark stretch of road there. You know what I mean? So I'm by myself going down the road, and all of a sudden the passenger side airbag warning was going off. Or, yeah. But generally I would be turning there to go get my coffee. But I gotta go give blood today, so fasting it is. However, I will let you guys go because I am almost to work. And so I thank you guys for joining me on another little conversation. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'll talk about tomorrow. I'll find something to speak about. Hopefully do some more research. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Remember, the energy you put into today is the energy you'll get back. So try to have a good outlook and positive energy, and you'll be all right. So, as always, friends and family, stay spooky.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping down, and appreciate the visit. Now get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.